When we talk about the stories of the Matrix, we usually think about the big names: Neo, Morpheus, Trinity, Smith, etc. Characters with abilities who are capable of surviving even the worst situations. We tend to focus on the heroes and villains, the machines and rebels, but we rarely think of the average day-to-day person, the people who are affected by the ever-going conflict between man and machine. And today, we're going to meet one such person, a man with a dream to be someone, but found himself in the wrong place at the wrong time, caught in the middle of a skirmish between an agent and a red pill. Today, we're going to explore another chapter in the Matrix comics titled An Asset to the System.
Welcome to the desert of the real.
Before we begin today's video, we would like to announce our first official giveaway for our subscribers. We will be raffling a copy of the Matrix Comics 20th Anniversary Edition, an anthology of all published Matrix comic book stories, some written by the Matrix creators themselves, the Wachowskis. All you have to do to win is be a subscriber to this channel, leave a like on this video, and leave a comment on who is your favorite Matrix character and why. The winner will be announced on August 29th, 2020. Thank you for the support, and enjoy today's video. This story begins with Pete at his apartment, filling out a police academy entrance essay. In it, he writes about his youth and why he wants to become a police officer. When he was 5, 2 criminals broke into his home and killed his father, shooting him in the head. He and his parents just finished eating dinner. They were bloated and tired when the killers arrived. Luckily, he and his mother were saved as the police managed to arrive before the situation got worse, but they couldn't save his father. Ever since that day, Peter worked to become a cop. As he is working on his essay, he realizes that he is late for his job as night security. He arrives at his job and finds his friend and fellow night guard Charlie asleep. Peter, being the nice guy that he is, bought Charlie some donuts. Charlie sees the application in Pete's hands and warns him that it's not worth it. Charlie was a cop for 28 years. His advice for Pete was to get out while he still can. Peter wants to become a full-time police officer, but Charlie claims that it's a waste of time. Peter is your typical vigilante archetype, an ordinary person who suffered a traumatic experience and then vowed to fight crime. Yet in the world of the Matrix, nothing is as predictable. Suddenly, a massive explosion occurs inside the building where they are guarding. A man wearing shades jumps out of the flames like some kind of superhero. Peter couldn't believe what he just saw. He yells at the man to stop, but he doesn't listen. He then turns to his superior and sees Charlie turning into an agent. The agent then runs after the arsonist. Peter tries to rationalize. What he saw wasn't possible. Someone must have drugged them. Nevertheless, Peter focuses and goes after the 2 men. Pete is in pursuit. The arsonist and the man who used to be Charlie are engaged in a firefight, both of them ignoring Peter. Peter manages to get the upper hand on the arsonist. He points his gun at him and yells to stop. The man then warns Peter that he should run. The agent informs Peter that he has jurisdiction and that the man was going to die. But the night guard was not listening. He points his shotgun at the agent and tells him that no one is going to die. Peter tells them both to put down their weapons. The situation gets tense. Peter repeats the order, but the 2 men already knew what was going to happen next. They both open fire on each other, with Peter standing in the middle. Bullets are flying, and all we see is Peter's eye as he yells no again and again. I don't believe in complaining about the escalating crime. Instead, I want to be a part of the solution, rectifying the problem. I look forward to assisting my community, serving, protecting, and playing a part in keeping our society strong. In short, I look forward to being a police officer. Thank you for considering my application. Peter Williford. Those are Peter's final words in the police academy application. But that dream is now dead. Peter has been disconnected from the Matrix, his body flushed. Just an innocent bystander who got involved in something well over his head. This story, like many of the others, is meant to make you feel empathy for the people connected to the Matrix. It also shows us how a sense of justice is absurd inside the program. How true justice cannot exist in a world where its people have absolutely no power. Many of us wish to do the right thing, but when we find ourselves confronting an impossible situation, what do? Peter wanted to help society, fight for justice, but what could he have done? What could any of them do? Most of those people will probably end up like Peter, fighting for a dream, an idea that will never happen, because they are subjected to a controlled system that they cannot defy. Trying to do so will most likely result in them facing the same fate as Peter, flushed. Let us know if you would like us to cover more of the stories of the Matrix comics. For Matrix Explained, please leave a like and subscribe. And thank you for visiting the Desert of the Real.